It's March and it means that 1 year of our life in Netherlands have passed. Finally, I can conclude, I can tell you how it is to live here in Amsterdam, about all the pros and cons and little details and some of our history. So if you're thinking about moving to Amsterdam, keep watching. Little prehistory. We moved to Netherlands because of the war in Ukraine, so it wasn't planned. I wasn't considering, pluses and minuses. I wasn't getting ready for it, processing documents and blah blah blah. So for us, it was absolutely unexpected and very random. I have a background working in a Dutch company in Ukraine. That's why we came here, but yeah, I didn't know a lot about Netherlands about life in Netherlands before moving here. We have amazing weather today, finally. So I decided to go out and film outside a little bit, and I will start with the pros. And the first one, and the most basic one, of course, is language. Literally everyone in Netherlands, well, Amsterdam, I would say. I don't know how it's in the small villages. I don't think that it's so good. But in Amsterdam, literally everyone speaks English. All the governmental authorities, like doctors, constructors who are doing the road, and even kids starting from around 7, 8, they also speak English. You feel so free when you don't have this language barrier, and you can communicate everywhere. And I really appreciate it. And it's really also good for your work and your career, because it's really easy to find a job here. There are so many international companies. Of course, you should start learning Dutch if you're planning to live here for some time, or if you have kids. I have two kids, 2.5 and 4.5 years old, and my daughter, who is 4.5, she already speaks almost fluent Dutch. So I also started learning, and well, I think that this is respectful for the country you are living, to know at least the basics. The second point is the bike infrastructure, of course. I'm sitting on my back feet and filming this video. I think it's amazing. I never thought I will be so much in love with a bike. And here it's so convenient. The infrastructure is really good. The bike roads, the lights. There are even some closed streets where you can't drive with a car, but you can drive with your bike. So I would say it's much more convenient here to be by bike. And the city is quite small, so by bike you can get by 30-40 minutes from one part of Amsterdam to the other. So what else should I admit? That I was talking with other Ukrainians who also moved to Netherlands, and a lot of them said that they find in this bike riding their everyday portion of happiness, where you can just be in the moment, observe the city, enjoy, have this everyday workout. The one big thing about the bikes is that they constantly get stolen. And police can't do anything about it. They even say that you never had a bike while the first one was gone. I'm back home because I forgot some stuff, so I'll proceed from here with the third pro from my side, and for me it's kids friendliness. I have the whole video about life in relocation to the Netherlands with the kids, so if you're considering relocation here with the family, or you're here with the family, you should watch the whole one. All of us have these stereotypes in our head about Netherlands, not Netherlands, Amsterdam being the city of sin, weed and prostitution. And even my mom told me, like, do you think Amsterdam is the good place for kids? And actually it is. I do like the Dutch way of parenting. I do like the school system. I'm okay with the health system here. I do like a lot of freedom that the kids have here, and of course the safety. So it really differs from the way that we raise people in Ukraine, and here I like it much more. There are so many playgrounds, swimming pools, sports sections, and there's so many small stuff that Dutch people do for the kids. And I do see that the kids are super happy here. The fourth row for me will be the size of the country and the city and the location of the country in Europe. Really great that the city is super small. You don't spend a lot of time in the traffic. It's really super convenient. Still, you can find everything in the city. All the cultures, all the attractions, shops, big companies. I don't know. I think Amsterdam is this amazing balance of city and nature, and having everything and still being very cozy and small. And I think it's very unique because all the other capitals, Berlin, Paris, London, are super big and the traffic is really heavy. And here it's still like very cozy. The location of the country, it's in the center of Europe, so it's really easy to travel by car, by train, by plane. Yeah, the last one. As you can see, I'm working today. Is the life-work balance. Dutch style of working is actually different one from what we're used to in Eastern European countries. I think they're very relaxed here. The companies will finish around 5 and everyone values your time and your family. It was kind of funny, you know, when we just moved here and we were not working yet. Me and my husband went out to the parks and the parks were full of people during the spring, of course, because everyone was crazy about the sun. He's like, is anybody working here? It looks like that a whole city is outside. I think Dutch people really know how to enjoy their lives, and there are lots of other stuff that are really cool in this country. Of course, like the beauty and the style of the country. I think that Dutch people and Netherlands have really their own style, and it's really beautiful. So we were considering it with a friend of mine that sometimes when we're biking through Amsterdam we just cry because of the beauty around. It's so amazing, like beautiful flowers. The only thing in Netherlands that is cheap are actually flowers. Great architecture, museums, very interactive and really cool, beautiful people. I don't know, but it really attracts that when you go outside, the people are really beautiful and handsome. Again, for me, it means a lot. This eye beauty, you're just go outside to the city center and the architecture is beautiful, the gardening is amazing, the people are beautiful, they're very stylish, so you just go outside and you're like, oh, thank you. Thank you, I'm so pleased with these authentics. The next middle topic is food. I know that most of the people consider Dutch cuisine not the best one and the highest one, even the Dutch people themselves. So when we moved here and we were living with a host family, and I said, guys, can you prepare us some traditional Dutch dinner? And they're like, we'd better not. But we had the white asparagus, which was amazing, so you should definitely try that. For people like me who were born and grown up in agricultural country like Ukraine with amazing farms and lots of great local products. Of course, the Dutch quality of the food is not the best one because we're used to this seasonal fruits and vegetables, big variety and amazing taste. But the horeca here, of course, is great. There are so many expats who came from different parts of the world and brought their cuisines, opened restaurants, cafes. In the overall, the culture of the food is very poor here, I would say. Even in the daycares, they would feed your child with brooches, with bread. I mean, and most of the Dutch people will just have bread and the sandwiches during the day, and only in the evening they will have like the dinner and the normal food. So in most of the videos that you might have watched, they will mention weather at the first cons. I wouldn't do that. I would put it somewhere in the middle. I think the average climate is really nice because it stays about 10-15 degrees in the average during all the year. They have quite cool summers and you don't experience this awful heat. The springs are beautiful. The autumn is also beautiful, and we were very lucky with the summer this year. It was quite hot. We even went to the sea several times. But you know, if I was filming this video in the end of January, I wouldn't even put this topic in between. Because yeah, everything was so good so far, but now when it's March and I experience the winter here, I would say that the winter is really bad. It's so depressing. It's there's almost no sun. It's always raining, and it's so humid. You're always cold, and if you don't have a car, I can imagine how these people survive having these bike rides under this rain and humid every day. Seriously. You know, I have actually the plan for the next year. I will plan all our vacations during this awful season. That's it, to run away from this awful winter. So the only pro from my side is the real estate market. Guys, I don't know, I hear it from everyone that it's so hard nowadays to rent, to buy, and it's so expensive. It's just insane. Also, what I would add is that it's really expensive to live here. So, you know, when you have this proposal from the company and you have this I don't know, 7,000 euros salary, especially if you're moving here with the kids, you must consider that the daycares are extremely expensive, that the groceries are expensive, that the fuel is expensive, going out is expensive, all the beauty things like massages, blah blah blah, they're also extremely expensive. Renting, I should have mentioned it first, you know. You actually should consider that it's not always that much attractive in sense of money. I think the Netherlands are super attractive in the sense of being a very comfortable country to live in, but in the sense of money, I would think, because the taxes, of course, are also quite high here. So you pay lots of taxes and then you spend lots of money on, you know, sometimes when you actually like the country as a tourist and when you come and live here, it comes out to be not that good. But with the Netherlands, it's vice versa. It came out to be even better than I expected. So I really enjoy living here, and I'm very thankful to Netherlands for all the protection and the support that they gave us.